and welcome to Unit 6. And as you can see, today we are going to talk about writing habits. Now, research, and I don't know if somebody has told you this before, but research doesn't exist until you communicate it. You see? So it is essential if you want to become a scientist and belong in academia or devote your life to discovery, that you write research and you do it properly. Spoken communication will do, but it's never nearly as efficient and impactful as writing is. That means that obviously you need to acquire good habits to be able to write as much as you need to now to do your dissertation, but as you will need to when you start your career and when you start writing your dissertation, quite obviously. Now, writing properly and having a good understanding of language and being stylistically efficient is only your second best, because what will make it or break it is the acquisition of the habit. Now, habits usually are accompanied by paraphernalia. And what I mean by that is we will need to have particular objects near us, or we will need the settings to look in a particular way. Sometimes it's a room, for example. There are people who will confess that they can only work in a particular room at home where they probably find the peace and quiet they need. I am particularly obsessed by lighting. So lighting for me is extremely important. If the room is not well lit, I will probably not be able to write down a single word. So I just carry my equipment around, carry my computer around wherever I find a spot where the lighting is good. Equipment is very important because we also have like our pet peeves about equipment. There are people who will prefer to work on their mobiles, not for extensive writing, but there are people who will prefer to work on their mobiles for certain tasks that they have to perform when writing. And there are people who will prefer to work on tablets. Now we have large screen tablets that perhaps are better for some of you than regular equipment. And if you're wise enough, today and right now, you will admit that you're working online. And if you're not, please start working online today. Tomorrow we'll talk a bit more about that. Okay? Now, everything is about the setup, as you can see. And the setup has to be optimal. It doesn't mean that it has to be perfect, but it should work for you. So if you know that you need a clean and tidy desk to start writing, you need to make an effort to have that particular desk tidy and organized and clean. So whenever you need to sit down, whenever you set off just to do the writing work that you need to do every single day, it is ready for you to get going. Yes? So there are many methods to acquire a writing habit or any other habit. We're going to talk only about a handful. They come in so many different flavors that perhaps you will be able to find one that is good for you. But I will introduce you to 3 of them only. Habits, you need to understand that writing habits will help you fight against the arch enemy of production, which is procrastination. Procrastination is not easy to deal with. Some people will need help in order to get their act together and start working in an efficient way, especially when they're doing their dissertation. Think, for example, there's this phenomenon all but the thesis. you probably have heard about it. And people who have finished doing research, they have finished their PhD. So they go through the master's, they write, sometimes they have to write a master's thesis, sometimes they don't have to. If they don't have to, they move on to the PhD, they do the research, and they waste it. Because research depends so much on time and opportunity that if you don't write your thesis when it's the right time, you would just waste all your efforts. Okay, so procrastination is something that we need to fight against. Yes, also remember that writing a dissertation will put you under pressure from many different places. There will be time pressure because you will need to finish. You will want to, but you will also need to finish at a particular time. You will also have the pressure from your supervisors who will ask you to do things that perhaps you don't agree with, but you will have to at least give them a try. And you will have the pressure of the research itself. And research and what's going in your lab, for example, those of you who work in labs, that will somewhat push you to do things that you didn't even think you would have to do. So it is extremely important that, and you have heard me mention this before, that you keep a healthy lifestyle so your mental health is not affected by the demands of the thesis. Okay, so very soon you will find out that routine is good. Adopting a routine is great. It's not only great for kids, it's great for writers. Yes? Again, a lifestyle that fosters production is a lifestyle that will keep you healthy and sane and full of energy to face the challenge ahead, okay? There is a saying that goes, I don't know if you have heard it, the best thesis is the dawn thesis. And I subscribe. I think that the best thing you can do is finish the thing, finish it. Forget about perfectionism, forget about everything, about your imposter syndrome. We suffer from that. I do myself, and it's okay, but we need to get over that to get this task done so you can move on to your regular life. And for that, you're going to need method. You're going to stick to a method. You need time and time management, wise time management. And you need a set of conditions that will help you get where you want to get. So today's lesson is going to be very different from the previous lessons. And the reason is, remember, you have to submit your first assignment today, which means you're going to need, if you haven't done it yet, you're going to need some time to finish the assignment, because remember, you have time only till midnight. And this is midnight Central European time, okay? So careful with this, because I know some of you are not here right now, are not in the same location as me. So this is Central European time, and the time's up at 23:59, so that's a minute before midnight. Make sure you finish on time, otherwise the slot where you have to deliver your assignment is going to be closed and there will be no extensions, okay? So one thing that I would like you to do today is finish your assignment if you haven't finished it, and that's why the work that you're going to do today is light, because mostly what I will ask you to do is to commit to a schedule to start writing your thesis and to start writing it today. So there you go. I hope you enjoy the lesson. Remember to be punctual in your delivery of the assignment, and I'll see you next time.